Madness. Well, some background. I am an indie developer from Colombia, and I am making my own indie studio, Salon Bros, with my brother Leonardo Salom. He's the artist behind the game. And right now we have some people working with us as well. Our team is 9 people right now, and we are working in this project with the idea to make one of the most awesome Metroidvania studio of the game of the history. Let me put the presentation here. Okay. So, like I said before, Ego Pollution Madness is a Metroidvania style games. That means it's a 2D open world action platformer. And we want to create something with a very good skillful mode of combat and of course of the platform style of the game. So, you play with this guy, this little guy named Proto, and the idea is that Proto is chosen for the spirit of life to fight against the pollution monsters. So, actually, we want to create a Metroidvania game, of course, with all the style, with all the motion that give us a good Metroidvania explosions, fighting monsters, exploring a vast 2D open world, get more abilities when you improve in your game. But something really important for us is to send this real message about the pollution problem of the planet. So when you play Ego Pollution Madness, you don't just have a very fun time, but you also learn something about the real problem of the pollution. Why are we working in this? Well, my brother and I love the Metroidvania games. We are inspired this project in the classics, of course, like Super Metroid and Castlevania, one of our favorite games of all times. But also, we are inspired for games, more recently games like Hollow Knight, Action Verge, Iconoclast, Shanty, Blasphemous. We want to create a game that have that kind of quality of game that I mentioned. We want to create one of the top 10 Metroidvanias when many people can enjoy the style of the art. Many people can enjoy the mechanics of the game. We are making not only platforming and fighting in this game. We also want to make some puzzle resolutions, some different mechanics. Not only the platforming, you get some missions when the style of the game changes completely, and you don't need to only run and jump for the platforming style. You also need to maybe get in some mechanics a little different for that. And of course, we don't want to create only one game or only this game. We want to create a very good IP for all the ego concepts that we are designing for this game. In this case, especially, is about the pollution problem, but we already thinking in other kind of stuff that the concept is preparing to get other subjects for the games. So, I'm gonna show you a little gameplay. This gameplay is for the alpha that we just released on April this year. This is our first alpha, but right now is something more like a concept alpha. The idea is to see a little of the art of the game and some of the mechanics, but you get in this alpha some linear exploration. But of course, right now our team is working to get a very good vertical slide when you actually get all the experience of the Metroidvania game styles. I hope you enjoyed that little show of our alpha. Continue with this presentation. I need to talk more about the style, the mechanics, and the plot itself of the game. So our little hero, Proto, have two kind of weapons. The first is a yo-yo. We think that this guy, Proto, is something like a teenager, and he have his first weapon, a yo-yo, because we actually enjoy play with a yo-yo. Right now I take here my yo-yo when I play this, when I working in the game and get to think something about fix some bugs or something like that. And this is something that give us our childhood to meaning something like that. In the game, the yo-yo is connected with the energy of the spirit of life. We use the term prana to is something that talks about all the energy that connects all the life on the universe. So the idea is that with your yo-yo, with the yo-yo, Proto can fight pollution monsters using this energy prana, and of course he can only fighting. He have some abilities that he can improve when he progress in the game, and these abilities is also connected with the prana energy. Something like reference with the mechanics, maybe better kind of jumps or a style like that. In other hand, Proto have the technology. So we are creating this kind of cyber fantasy style for the game. So you can see the Proto is with head mod and have this cyberpunk style of that kind. And of course, all the game current in the future, when the life is in the verge of the extinction. That is why Proto is chosen for the spirit of light to fight against the pollution monsters. But also one of the messages that we want to create in this game is that you can use the technology in a good way with the resources of the planet. And this is part of the cyber prosthesis that Proto use. I don't give you some spoilers that how he gets this arm, but it's called MTech 00. And of course, with this MTech 00, like the same with the yo-yo, you can get many abilities that improve your mechanics or improve your fighting style against the pollution monsters. For using this technology, Proto use electrostatic generation. So he using some kind of the cleaner energy that is produced for the movement of the body of Proto. All the stuff, of course, is got the message that how we can actually do better things and use the technology in favor of the mother nature. About the art, Actually, my brother is the art director of the game, and as you can see, he is strongly inspired for manga style, anime style, but also have some Western culture touch. So he can hear some of the characters that he are designed for the game. Some of them are enemies and others are NPCs. Of course, in a very good Metroidvania style games, Proto have interactions with many NPCs. Some of them maybe some friendly, and others maybe not too much, or depends of the interaction. The NPC can be good for you and get some things to improve on your abilities, or to get access some areas where you can get after the interaction with before the interaction with there, and others maybe can't give you nightmares because they have a really very bad attitude, and maybe give you some difficult for your game. This is really makes it up for on NPCs. Okay, I think I'll say this a lot of before, but of course, Proto have many abilities designed for him, many ways to fight, many weapons, if you can see in that way, with his JoJo and his arm. But of course, in the beginning of the journey, Proto don't have access on all these abilities. You need to gain these abilities, maybe fighting and defeating some bosses, or maybe just with your exploration with the 2D world. You can get these abilities in a chest, or maybe in a conquest, in a mission that some NPC give you. Another very important part for a good Metroidvania game is, of course, the music. Like say one of my favorite philosophers, without music, life will be a mistake. And of course, without music, a very good game can be. Because right now we are working with a very talented musician here in Colombia named Andres Merchan, and he's helped us with create all the original OST for the game. But this not mean just put music on the game. It's something more elaborated where the music change when you are playing the game, because the music made the atmosphere. For example, if in that part of the game we want that you feel it scared, and so the music and the art style mess it up to get actually that kind of experience. Or maybe in other part of the game, the music start with something scary, but depends of the plot of the history of the game. That means evolving in something else, and you don't need to feel scared anymore. Maybe you need to feel happiness, I don't know, something like that. So this is the kind of music that Andres is making for us in the game. It's something that is not just put some music randomly, and it's not just play at the music. Is that music that actually can evolve depending of the experience that the player needs to feel in that moment of the game. When, for example, getting the fight with a boss, and you are loses the fight, or you are winning the fight, the music involved depends of that. Well, we want to share with you something like the timeline and advance that we are working with this game. We started with the project back in 2018. In that moment, only my brother and I started with the project with only the concept idea, and we worked very hard because we know that we are very young in the industry, but we get this very ambitious project, and we know this takes a lot of time, but we think that if we work very hard and improve our work in the time, and get more people involved in the project, we can succeed in our goal to make one of the top 10 Metroidvanias. So for 2019, we released our first pre-alpha, a very concept alpha in that time, something really different that showed you before in the gameplay. And with this alpha, we had the possibility to testing this alpha in some local event here in Colombia. So about something like 500 people in that event called SOFA, testing the alpha. And we are thinking, oh no, this alpha is just something really concept. Maybe not many people like it or something like that. But surprise, many people liked the alpha. We got a lot of good feedback. So we know that we got a very strong concept for the game. We continue working on the game and contact more people and talking about the concept of the game on the developer in order to get more people involved in the game. After this alpha was when Andres Merchan, our musician, get in the team and start to making this awesome music and sound effects for the game. And early this year on April, we released the new alpha, the real alpha. Of course, right now is also more constantly because you have linear exploration, but that was on purpose to make some statement about the improvement related with the with the other alpha that we released in 2019. For the people that follow us from that time and can see the improvement on the art style, can hear the music that we don't get music before of that, and can see the improvement of the mechanic. In general, can see the improvement on all the work for the projects. For this alpha, actually we have more people involved in the project, and I present you before in the presentation. And our idea is that we are working right now on get a very good vertical slide, like I said before. And the idea is maybe for end this year or begin the next year, get this very good vertical slide. And the purpose of this vertical slide is, of course, so get to many people and give us your feedback. So if you like the game, if you like our project, and maybe or better, the main idea is with this material get the very good partnership with a publisher or something like that give us the necessary resources to actually can make this project one of the top 10, because all we know that for make a top game we need a lot of resources. We need of course what we need funding, money, of course. We need a very good strategies on marketing. We want to port in the game to many platforms. We need QA and localization, because we are from Colombia, and of course we are developing the game and the plot of the game in Spanish. But if we want to get to the global market, we need a very good localization. And we want to get into of course European, North American and Asian market. So we want to get this very good localization where actually all the people on the globe can feel the game, can understand perfectly all the history of the game that we are creating. And some data about the game, of course, like I said before, is a Metroidvania. We are working this game in Unity. If everything goes well, we think that after 2 years of development, we can release the game in 2024. Our company is Salon Bros. It's a single player, of course. We thinking something like a premium access. You buy the game and you get the game. Principally, in a digital copy, but of course we want to create something like a special edition with some things that we are thinking about, like the art book, of course, the original OST on LP, and all those kind of stuff, pins, and we know that we got that kind of art, of that kind of style of game that give us the possibility to create many things that all the kid community love. We are part of that community, of course. So the audience, if you like 2D games, if you like action games, if you like Metroidvanias, I'm sure that this game or project or game, Ego Pollution Madness, is a game for you. And like I said before, we want to make this game on PC, but also in the principal consoles at least. Even we are thinking about that maybe it's a possibility to give the game in mobiles. When I see games like Dead Cells, that is one of the inspirations too. So we think that maybe mobiles can be a market for the game too. Like I said before, we don't want to create only one game. We want to create a very good IP, everything about the concept of ego. So we have some early ideas. We have one very good idea with this character. Masculine is one NPC that is related with all the hackers mechanical stuff of the game, and we have very good, very strong ideas to make a spin-off with her related at all the concept of ego, but in that case is not related the pollution of the planet, is related for other of the problems that we get, is about the information, is about the social media and that kind of stuff. And of course, for the principal game, Ego Pollution Madness, we also have some DLCs designed, some early concept for some DLCs. So we are talking about that we are already designing a game that we estimate something like 7 hours of game if you play it normally. But if you are more like a completist, you can have hours on hours of the game looking for Easter eggs, looking for the others mission that you don't actually need to get this mission to finish the game. Of course, if you want a better end with more information, more complete ending, you need to complete the game about the 100%. But if you are something more like a casual gamer, you also can enjoy this game and play it more easily and get another ending different if you get maybe the 60% of the game, 60% of the game, 80% of the game. Like I try to say, is that we are designing this game to get various endings, different endings, and even two of these endings depends on some of the action that you do in the game. This is our team. Right now we are all locally from Colombia, but we are open to working with people in all the world. We are working remotely, totally remotely. Like I said before, my brother Leonardo is the artist behind all that kind of style, the artist that we are made for the game, and his team is Guillermo and Carlos. These two awesome artists are made in all the animation and all that kind of stuff. My personal team on the development, because I am a system engineer and I directed that part of the team, is Camilo and Yesid. These very skillful programmers. These guys are making all the code for the game. And of course, we want to create a very good universe for our game, a very good plot, a very good narrative for the game. So we bring our game, Camilo and Ricardo, two very good writers, and they are making help us with the narrative, with the dialogues of the game. But you know, it's not only the dialogues. You need to make all that narrative, like maybe the background histories of the characters and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we're working together on all the general narrative that is mixed with the art of the game, with the music of the game. That will be, and at the last but not least, Andres Mechar, our talent musician. So you can find our work in the social media. Just look for Salon Bros, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you want to test our actual alpha and maybe give us some feedback about the game, you can easily download it free on issue. So I hope everybody get the alpha, download the alpha, play it. If you get bugs, put that thing in the issue. If you like it, put what you like it. If you don't like something, also put the comments in the issue. That help us a lot to improve our work. Well, this is all for the presentation, but I have here also made a little gameplay for our project. Let me put it. Okay. Now you can hear one of the themes that Andres composed for the game. Right now we are using this thing for the menu of the game of the alpha, but actually have another meaning in the game. Of course, we recommendedly strongly play the alpha with a gamepad, but if you want to play it with a keyboard, you can also do it. Like I presented you before, is the team for the game behind the game. Is the team behind the game, but we want and we note that if we want to make this game one of the top actually, we need more people involved. This is part of get the necessary resources for the game and increase our team to get more people involved and get a better stuff. So this is where we start the alpha. Right now we got some art that give us some idea that, for example, this part of here and this part of here. Of course, like I said before, right now is something more like a concept alpha, but the idea is to get something about the project, see the art style, see the mechanics of the game. Like I say, Proto can fight with his magical yo-yo and also had his prosthesis arm. So he wake up in this laboratory, but as you can see, it's a laboratory in a camera. It's something like it's not an official laboratory for say something. Maybe I am a little lost because right now we are working improve this alpha. So I got in my mind the new style, the new concept of the new stuff that we are making. That uh, playing this alpha, I see that we get a lot of things that is much better. We are very excited to publish this new version of the alpha. We hope that we can publish that in the next months. One part that we get in this alpha is just a little test about the plot. So you can find here these three that give us this dialogue, and is when you get the principal idea when you are something like a little hero chosen. Actually, this dialogue is changes already for the next version, but you can see that the idea is present you the mission to unit, but with not very much information. And of course, the spirit of light right now is very damaged because all the pollution of the planet. Actually, the life is nearly to the extinction. All that creatures that you see in the game are monsters, are not real animals. You can find animals anymore. The only living creatures that continue are the humans, and as you see, they need this mask or helmet to can get to can breathe because all the pollution. And you may be asking what happened with this little thing that I get. Well, this is for get your first improvement of the game, where you can give the dash movement, and now you can release it after you get that collectible. Ah, those little sling rocks are very crazy. As you can see, you can go in both two ways. It's not too linear, like I say. But for the next version of the alpha, this is more like you can lose in the world. Actually, you have not only one path. You don't have only in one path. You can get the option of choose if you maybe want for the left, for the right, or maybe for another path. And you can see that we lost a lot of life in that fight, but when you push with your when you hit with your jojo the enemies, you get this energy prana, and is related with this little tree and the UI of the game that also is have right now some changes for the new version, and you use and that energy to help yourself. So for we need to take that like that. For example, you can uh, continue your path for here. This is a little part when you can uh, continue your journey in two different parts, but actually both of the parts finish in the same part. So of course I know the map of the world, and this is a little tramp. I want to hunt that guy. Yeah, he's a little. Come here. I get it. So right now you are see these little guys like this one that I killed is related with the pollution of minery, but this other guy, for example, the one that explodes, is related with the pollution of the air. As you can see, is like a smoke explosion like that. And the other guys that we see in this part of the alpha is more related with the contamination of the rivers for garbage. So these have that kind of slime, that disgusting slime. Right now, all of them are in this part of the world that is, of course, caverns. But the all the world for the game is, of course, related some kind of pollution. So we got the minery, we got the part of the forest that actually is no more living trees because it's related for the deforestation, because the fire. We also got the pollution rivers for garbage, and the ocean pollution for the oil, and of course the cities and the pollution of the cities, the pollution air for the smog. And this will be a very huge world that is an open world, but of course you need to get the abilities, the necessary abilities to can explore all the game of the world. For example, this little guy is more related for the pollution of the fire in the forest. That is why he had that little fire in his head. Is something like um, a seed, a little seed that is on fire. Of course, all this monster is caused because some really evil scientists get all the pollution and something related with a very bad energy, and start to make all that kind of experiments, and that results on creating all that monsters. That little monster. Ah, wow, this one. Oh, I don't have many life. I need to heal myself. No. Okay, we are safe now. I think maybe for the olders, this reminds some games like the classic Metroidvania, when you need to jump from some wall to other wall, and it's easier if we don't have that monsters. But I want to try to get this pass without the without the monsters. Ah! He won one path that finished on nothing, like Madrid style. But of course, right now is more like a really linear path. This guy is the really challenge here in the alpha. He's related, of course, with the deforestation for fire. Like you see, they are like this kind of animal with something of tree, but something fire in his bodies. No, just die, please. Okay, and that comes in the fine and the end of the alpha. As you can see, this is something like a underground station. This part of the game will be very important because this part is where Proto actually can make some friends and give some of the interactions with the NPCs that give us all the abilities, all the stuff that we need for the game. So for example, right now is here Maschalini give us the thanks for play the alpha, but in the game Maschalini give us so many tools about hacking. With these tools you can get in some areas of the map hacking some doors or hacking some automatic weapons, and we have a lot of NPCs, some of there for improve the abilities of the arm of the Proto. Some of them give us maps that help us exploring of the vast world, and others give us some missions. Like I said before, one these missions, if you want to make that missions, you get more percentage in the game and you can get different final for the game. And another of these NPCs just give us some dialogues for get more into the in the plot, in the all the history about the universe that we are made it with this game, Ego Pollution Madness. So guys, this is right now our alpha. Like I said before, you can find us in social media, in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are very excited that you guys can download the alpha, play it, and give us all your feedback. Like I said, they help us a lot with our work. And I think that is all for now. I am put the gameplay again, so you can you can see more about the game of the gameplay. And thank you a lot for all of you that see this streaming, and thank you a lot for emails for give us this opportunity to show our project in this important event. Bye bye guys. Hey again, for those that continue seeing the streaming, I just hear that you can. I just see that you can actually can hear the music of the game. Let me see if we can improve that. So what happened with the music? Maybe if you can give me some message in the chat of the YouTube for now if the music is playing right now. Well, like I said before, this part of the music is that we are using in the menu of the game, but actually is related for some special area of the game. This is one of the other music that Andres is working with us in the gameplay for right now.